Sight Bites. Answers to questions from the Next Bite website. Brought to you by Purina.
You know, dogs make great fishing partners. They never steal your baits. You just have to make sure you bring plenty of dog treats with. This week's Sight Bite question comes from one of the guys that wants to know what's the advantages to some of the new big Verado engines.
We're down here at the Verado plant down in Fond du Lac and just looking around at some of the high-tech stuff, and I'm here with Steve Miller, and we're going to talk a little bit about why this engine is so reliable and bulletproof.
Well, one of the things we're standing in front of here is what we affectionately call Big Red. He's got one job in this whole company, and it's one of the most important. Big Red's job is to torque down the 14 long bolts that run through a 6-cylinder Verado. They're probably the 14 most important bolts on this entire engine. They run through the cylinder head, through the block, and into the bed plate. They keep Verado's block in a constant state of compression. This is very important for a supercharged engine, and it creates some of the reliability that you're seeing out in the field today. Yeah, this is what we call our torque and turn test. It's what we call an in-process validation point on the Verado line, and there are several of them. Basically what it means is when we start to put Verado together, we build a little bit, then we send it through an automated test to make sure that it passes a series of criteria, and then if it does, it moves on to the next point. We build a little bit more, it goes through another test. The torque and turn test basically is a test that cycles through the movement of any moving part within the engine. So we cycle the crankshaft, the pistons, connecting rods, and bearings, and to make sure all of those things are built and they're fitting together within the right tolerances. They're not too tight, they're not too loose, they're just right before it moves on to the next stage of assembly.
Another big machine, huh?
Yep, we're getting to the end of it though. This is what we call our cold spin test, and it's one of our last tests before we send the engine on through to get the cowls put out and get boxed. And basically what this test does is it's actually cycling the engine without actually burning gas and running it. We're actually pushing air through it, and by doing that we're testing all the moving parts, we're testing all of the electrical systems on there, the alternator, the sensor function, basically everything one last time to make sure it's all perfect before it goes on.
Well, this is the end of the line. It's all put together and in the final test.
That's right. This is what we call our hot test area. We hot test 100% of the Verados before they go out the door. So the bottom line is we run the engines before you do, and if we're not satisfied, they don't leave here.
Yeah, I tell you what, as many Verados as I've run, I'm super satisfied. You guys
That's awesome.
have built a great engine.
Thank you very much.
You want that? You know, on the Next Bite website, you not only get answers to your questions, you can read the forums, read articles, tips, all great information to help you get your next bite. You want your next bite, Rex? Yeah.
Fish, fish, fish!